Good afternoon and welcome to Match of the Day, in which we observe the frenetic plight of Brighton and Manchester City as they cling desperately to the First Division. And in contrast, we view life at the top as Liverpool are crowned champions before their match against Aston Villa, themselves still chasing a European place. And before that contest began, naturally all eyes were on one man, Bob Paisley.
Shy, reluctant leader has been persuaded that this is his position on his last day here. The climax of 9 remarkable seasons in charge of Liverpool Football Club. But he stands back to allow his captain, Graham Souness, to accept the League Championship trophy, but the captain immediately passes it to the boss.
An emotional setting for our main match, which will be followed by perhaps the last chance for Brighton and Manchester City to survive in Division 1.
Smith curls one, it's too long for Grealish, but it wasn't too long on the far side for Jimmy Case to strike a volley, which Williams did brilliantly to save.
And the perfect chance for Cardiff City to clinch promotion against Orient.
And it's getting past Rafi Hemmerman.
And the first chance for Dundee United to win the Scottish Premier Division.
Sturrock, brilliant turning by Sturrock. That would have been a superb goal had it gone in.
And it's also your first chance to enter the Goal of the Season competition.
The remaining promotion and relegation issues provide the main news as we approach the final week of the league season. But good news for Newcastle fans, Kevin Keegan stays at St James's Park.
But we start at Anfield on a day to remember. But whatever emotional feelings there were in evidence, the game itself was very much down to earth. Liverpool were playing to restore pride, and Aston Villa to clinch a place in European football next season. And at the end of 8 months, the pace of the game was extraordinary. Your commentator was Barry Davis.
And this is the team that Bob Paisley puts into the field for his last home match. He's without his leading scorer, Ian Rush, but Sammy Lee is back in the team. And Phil Thompson, the only survivor from the first side that Bob Paisley chose at the start of 1974-75 season in their opening match at Luton, which was won by 2-1. As the Aston Villa team, Des Bremner comes back at number 7, so Kerbishley moves the number 9 shirt, and Mark Walters is omitted. Phil Thompson having just collected his 7th championship medal, which is a record. And I wonder how many of you could recall the lineup that he took his place in Bob Paisley's first match back in August '74. So are we to have a celebration performance? Can the hosts clear their heads from the hangover, really, which has affected them for the last 4 matches, all of which have been lost, thereby having their worst run during Bob Paisley's reign, indeed their worst run for 18 years. Liverpool, do I have to tell you, in red, attacking the goal to our left. And the first foul of the match is by the captain, Graham Souness. The referee this afternoon is Colin Seal from Carlisle. Here's Alan Kerbishley. Spread out by Dalglish to Phil Neal. Nice flick, Hodgson. Dalglish made it. Here's Mark Lawrenson. His options were being cut down after the running of Ken McNaught, but Dalglish at the start of that attack and almost at the finish of it. Bit of a push by Thompson, said the referee. Pitch is quite soft on top. There's been, as everywhere else in the country, a fair amount of rain in Liverpool, and we've had some this morning too. Evans on the right, moving in. He was watched by Alan Hansen. As Souness. Hodgson. Nobody breaking left side. But Hodgson might go that way. Good play by Villa. But Hodgson prepared to take the left-sided run. It was the only route to go. Neil. Thompson. It's mainly one-way traffic with the odd breakaway. Offside against Hodgson. May well have been a moving ball too, so I think the kick will be taken again. Hansen. Gibson. Cowans. And Gibson again, gobbled off his line. Penalty. Well, he fell late, Gibson. But Grobbelaar once again, surely a headlong rush from his goal. And Aston Villa have the penalty as the result. He came out so fast, and Gibson fell late, and Shaw has the chance of giving Villa the lead, which he takes. And there's a touch of irony in the time of the goal, the 13th minute. After Liverpool had made all the play, on an afternoon when they so much want to do well, that in a way they're creating rather unusual pressure for themselves. Well, I suppose the home crowd will feel that the guests at the party have said an unfortunate piece. Like that challenge either. Absolutely teeming down on Bob Paisley's parade. His side still barely recognisable for the side that's just picked up its 14th championship for the club. Here's Lee. Goal kick. No, a corner. Touch from the last defender. And that defender, Gary Williams, is down hurt. Well, the seat is the usual one, but the position couldn't be more unusual. 4 consecutive defeats, a draw at Coventry before that, and losing here at home to Aston Villa. Bremner forms a barrier. And McNaught, it could have gone anywhere. Kennedy. Lee sets his sights, comes off the head of McNaught. Must have seen a few stars. There's no doubting the determination of the home side. And Phil Thompson up there looking for a goal, and he hasn't had one for 5 years. Bremner. Good strong challenge by Kennedy, but Sammy Lee certainly got hold of that, as Ken McNaught will confirm. And the ball clears the stand behind Nigel Sprink. Gary Williams has come off. And David Geddes moves to his usual position forward. At the moment it looks as though whether Mortimer will drop back. In fact, Bremner's gone to right back. That's what they've done. Bremner has gone to right back. And Geddes has gone forward. Push by McNaught. Referee checks the watch. It's a question of the time that he's added on for the injury. And the odd stoppage, Dalglish just wouldn't find the way through. Away by Evans. I seem to have said that quite a lot, away by Evans. Hodgson. It's Evans once more. Geddes stopped in his tracks by the half-time whistle, and Liverpool, having brought out their best silverware, much engraved with their name, really finding that the party is being spoiled by the opposition, who scored the only goal in the 13th minute of this first half. Shaw from the penalty spot, after Gibson had been brought down when Bruce Grobbelaar came roaring out of his goal at a pace that surely was not needed. And on his last day of management here at Liverpool, Bob Paisley still has to find the right and important words at half-time if his side are going to end victorious. This was the Liverpool lineup for Bob Paisley's first match back in August '74 at Luton. The match was won by 2-1, and the scorers were Smith and Highway. Liverpool end their season here at Anfield, attacking the Kop end. And I'm sure that Bob Paisley would have said at half-time, calm down and let the quality that he knows and they know they have come to the fore, instead of going out and chasing the game as they certainly did in the first half. It's a good strong run here by David Geddes, looking to see who's arriving, and Morley is. Nobody made a run in. You saw the sign then from Geddes. Nobody made a diagonal run across. There was nothing on for him unless he was going to go on his own completely. Lee. Evans. Good interception by Neil. Well used. Here's Hodgson. Dalglish. Hansen. Souness looking for Lawrenson. Was well aware of the direction of the ball. Very comfortable for him, but it's the second time that Lawrenson has comprehensively beaten Gerbishley. Souness. Accidental, said the referee. Still chancing their arm right up on the halfway line. He did well then, Neil. So did Dalglish. Hodgson. Neil. Oh, I say, how close can you come? What a good piece of play by the England fullback. Did well at the start to get it through to Dalglish. It was nicely built, and it was so close to producing the equaliser. Thomas Douglas. He gave himself so much room. Now he picks somebody out, does he? Only Bremner. Marvellous play by Douglas. Gave himself the room, bided his time, leaving Ken McNaught squirming on the greasy top. And his cross was inviting the header home, but instead found the header away. Souness. Blocked by Bremner. Johnston. I feel it's got to come for Liverpool. That was a deflection and a good save. He just started to move the other way then, Spring. He got down well. Kennedy. Oh, caught by Morley. Certainly the best thing we've seen from him in this match so far. And he was caught by the ball and the man coming in behind him. It was well struck by Morley, but a bit too high. Push by Gibson. 10 minutes of the second half gone. Still Gibson's run that produced the penalty. Divides the teams. Here's Thompson. Douglas, lovely little flick again. Johnston, Bremner. Geddes. Lee saw it, couldn't control it. Now Neil, Souness. The calmness has settled itself now on Liverpool's play. But there's always the danger of a breakaway. And here's Morley. Kennedy in with the challenge. And Neil! Good save. Whether it would have gone all the way, I'm not sure. But it may well have done. Morley, though, finding some space. Kennedy timing the challenge well. And Neil at least had a moment when he feared disaster. Neil. The match very much of the pattern of Europe, which Liverpool know so well. The side hanging on to its lead and looking for the breakaways. Liverpool trying to increase the pressure and find the openings. Douglas. Souness. Corner. Douglas and Lawrenson in the 6-yard area. Hodgson outside it, Johnston outside it. Goal kick. So Fagan on the far side, running around on the near. Likely to be the new team to succeed Bob Paisley here. And Joe Fagan is the manager. Morley. Kervishley. It's comfortably through the gap. Mortimer in the middle, Geddes on this side. Spun away for a moment. Norton Douglas. Hodgson. Again, appeal for handball. This time it's given. Hodgson with the kick off the hand of Evans and a penalty given. Dennis Mortimer looks at the referee. Well, the referee has to see intent, and he decided that there was intent then by Evans, and so Liverpool had the chance of the equaliser from the penalty spot. Oh, and it is not to be, but what a good save. No, the referee wants it taken again. The referee wants it taken again. Ken McNaught, with smiling eyes, eyes that were also saying a lot, is waved away. The referee's notebook is out for somebody. And it is to be the captain, Dennis Mortimer. Well, one of the quieter officials in the game, Colin Seal, has found himself in the sort of match that certainly he couldn't have been expecting. And I think maybe Kerbishley was booked as well. So Neil with a second chance. And a second save, and this time it's allowed to stand. Everybody calms things down. Spink gets the congratulations. And Neil has twice missed from the penalty spot. Lee. Free kick. Dear. It was certainly outside in spite of the protestations of Kenny Dalglish. Colin Seal can smile. Well, it might be argued that the penalty that Liverpool were given, or the two penalties that they were given, was a rather fortunate verdict in their favour. Souness. Blocked by Mortimer. Dalglish. Yes, Johnston! Well, it's come perhaps from the most predictable source, that Kenny Dalglish would provide the killer ball, although he himself was beautifully found. And the scorer, Craig Johnston, after the shot from Souness had been blocked, Dalglish played in on the near post, the sharpest cross, and Johnston with the finish to make it 1-1. It's Liverpool's first goal. Statistics are often criticised as being damn lies, but this is an unbelievable one. Their first goal for 425 minutes. Lawrence. Dalglish. Neil. The first time, Mr. Seal does look down at his watch. Here's Hansen. Souness the captain. Neil. The free kick has been given. No, it hasn't. There was a pull there, but the referee didn't think so. A remarkable story comes to an end at Anfield. The most successful manager that has been known ends his Anfield career with a draw. 1-1 is the final score on a disappointing afternoon when Aston Villa took the lead. Liverpool took so long to find themselves, and in the end could reply just the once, and try as they could not find the winner.
My goodness, they did put some effort into that game, and both teams defended so well it became a tale of two penalties. The first gave Villa the lead, and the second, which I thought was doubtful anyway, made Nigel Spink a hero at the second attempt. But just let's look at those two penalty kicks. The first now, we'll stop the action just before the ball is kicked, and you can see there that Spink has moved. The referee is watching his feet there, and he's in the recommended position for referees in this situation. A fine right-handed save there by Spink. Now it seems as if we've been there before, because it's the same situation again, but the second time. A feint, and as we pause again, the referee looking at Spink's feet, he has moved again. The left foot is clearly up from the line, and he makes the save as a result of that. But the point is, in that position, the referee can only see one point of relevance at a time. And I just wonder why it is that all referees, whether at Anfield or on the Common, don't take the tip an old referee passed on to me once. Stand quite close to the kicker, he said, listen for the shot and look at the keeper's feet. It's foolproof. Well, mixed feelings in Wales today. Swansea sadly dropped back into Division 2, where one consolation might be that they inherit a profitable local derby, as neighbours Cardiff yesterday clinched promotion against Orient. There was joy at Ninian Park, witnessed by Edward Robley.
Cardiff on a break, Hemen a chance, to Hatton surely. A bit slow, but a chance still on for Dave Bennett. Lewis! What a beautiful goal, finally. Mullen, pass McNeil, chance of a Cardiff break, Heberman. David Bennett is square, if you can see him. Well, he's got it, a chance for Cardiff. Oh! Put away beautifully. In fact, that's the end of it all. Cardiff are in the second division. 2-0 winners, Glenn Ash's, the sunglasses, applauding the team, and this is what the crowd think of it all. It really is quite mad. Scenes of great joy, the team mob, but those are marvellous scenes, aren't they?
Our congratulations to Cardiff, and Orient still cling to a slender chance of survival, as do the teams in our next game. Brighton, Cup finalists who face relegation from the First Division for the first time ever, and Manchester City, who have enjoyed a 17-year spell at the top level. Either way, there had to be a sad ending. Your commentator, John Motson.
The air of desperation around the Goldstone ground today was caused partly by the 2 goals Michael Robinson scored against his old club in the FA Cup here in January. They put Brighton on the road to Wembley at the expense of their league form largely, and helped cause the resignation a few days later of the Manchester City manager John Bond. Since then, City have won only 2 out of 15 matches, but Bond's son Kevin has battled on despite a nagging groin strain, and was this week voted the Player of the Year by the City supporters. He may move in front of the back four today, with Nicky Reed dropping back into his old position. In attack, Kevin Reeves is back after a hamstring injury, and Steve Kinsey, himself under treatment this week, drops out. The Brighton news, Jimmy Case is back after injury. Chris Ramsey is suspended, so number 6 Gary Stevens will play right back, and number 2 Graham Pearce will be on the left. And for the captain, Steve Foster, facing suspension, it looks as though it could be the last match of the season. As Brighton kick off, the situation from their point of view is quite simple this afternoon anyway. They've got to win to avoid relegation. Even then, they wouldn't automatically be safe. And the City supporters who followed their side down must be wondering how they could have been second on the 6th of November and now be in trouble themselves. That was on by Bond, back by Gatting. Here's Pearce. Jimmy Case. Robinson is in the centre, so too now is Smith. Smiley is joining them. It came through Kevin Bond and was cleared by Caton. It was certainly a good thing for City that he was on hand. Hartford. Reeves. Taking on Pearce. Good turn by Smith. Robinson. There's Smiley. Tony Grealish. Good play by Howlett, the number 8 there, was involved 3 times and was then fouled by Baker. Free kick was swiftly taken, but not to the referee's liking. But the delay has given Steve Foster the chance to make his way forward to support Michael Robinson on the far side of the penalty area as we look. Grealish to take. Foster comes in. That was Pearce. Here's McDonald. Reeves to Tuart. Hartford, it's the experienced players City need to perform here today. Power. And the trip, was it, by Tony Grealish? He thought it was a dive by Paul Power, but the linesman was well positioned and confirmed to the referee that it was a foul. McDonald is in there. Oh, he's hit the upright. Such bad luck for Manchester City, and an indication that when things are going against you, the breaks often go the other way. Hartford curled the free kick nicely with pace. McDonald always a threat on those, met it firmly, but the woodwork saved Brighton. And Graham Mosley, surely the most relieved man in the ground. Here's Power. Grealish. Stevens in. Smiley. Robinson jumping. Smith is there too. So is Caton. And Howlett. Smith. Grealish. Crowd anxious for Brighton to get the ball into the danger area, but City falling over themselves to keep it out. That was Pearce joining the attack again. Here's Smiley. Smith. Robinson still waiting for a cross on the far side. It's still Smith. And the block was by Power. Men are forward again. Stevens came to the near post. It fell for Gatting. Stevens made the first run across. Robinson took one more away. Foster with the header back into Gatting, whose shot that was earlier. Foster again. And that was going away. But if things go against one side, then luck was on the side of Brighton, because the crossbar certainly saved the goalkeeper from McDonald's header. Reeves. Tuart. That's a good turn. But Smiley got back. Foster. And there's one for Smith. Robinson, the other Brighton player in the penalty area for the moment. Grealish is trying to make it. Smith curls one. It's too long for Grealish, but it wasn't too long on the far side for Jimmy Case to strike a volley, which Williams did brilliantly to save. Good build-up by Brighton, and you would back Case in a position like that to catch the ball right on the full as he did. What a good reaction save from Alex Williams, confirming just how much he's developed during difficult times for City. And from the corner, he responds again with a very different sort of stop. Jimmy Case curling the ball in viciously, and Williams forsaking the spectacular this time for the sensible. Still Foster, Gatting and Stevens forward. It's curling and hooked back by Stevens, then by Smiley. Here's Gatting. Touched on for Robinson. Case playing very much on the left in this little spell. And Manchester City relieved to clear their lines. Ray Ranson with a run. Alex Williams, a former England youth international and developing into quite a personality on and off the field. Smith to Smiley. And the corner conceded by McDonald. Gatting, Foster and Stevens all up there looking for the break, which could mean so much. Smith on the goal line. Robinson. The touch not carrying the ball through. Oh, and that was Grealish and Tuart tangling. And the referee will want a word, presumably, about that tackle. Dennis Tuart certainly playing the leg of Tony Grealish in preference to the ball, and he's booked. Sign of the stress maybe that the teams are under, and even the most experienced players tending to react that way. Offside on the far side against Robinson. But often in relegation matches you get players committing themselves to tackles which are born out of desperation. Dennis Tuart there gets a break, looks for support. Had to hold it up rather, having beaten Stevens initially. He was then fouled by Grealish. And the decision goes against Tuart, who's already been booked and has to be very careful now. He was obviously unhappy about the referee's verdict there to give the free kick to Brighton, and Tuart, rather like the two teams in a different way, is on the edge of a precipice here. Flick on by Smith to no good effect. And a free kick, which Baker disputes, but the referee is firm, and it gives Brighton the chance perhaps to look for a goal in the dying embers of the first half. Reed came into the back of Smith there, but the referee saw nothing amiss. Here's Reeves, offside against Tuart this time. Grealish. Foster. Case is there, but the whistle is gone. And I'm afraid the number of free kicks have interfered with what rhythm there's been in the match, and there hasn't been too much of that, which is perhaps to be expected on a day when the nerve ends are so frayed. And these two teams have played in the first half as though peering anxiously over the edge of a cliff, and that in a football sense is exactly what they are doing. Bobby McDonald, who may reflect that he made his debut here for City at Brighton in October 1980, well, it was a happy day then, they won. Today he hit the bar, the nearest we came to a goal in the first half. Well, a couple of streets away, they're lying on the roof in the sunshine, perhaps dreaming of Wembley in a fortnight's time, but that seems an awful long way off to some of the fans inside the ground, because if the score stays like this, Brighton are relegated. So City to start the second half, knowing that from their point of view, a draw today might, depending on other factors, be enough to give them a platform to stay up. Their last game is at home to Luton Town next Saturday, but what is certain here is that Brighton have got to win this game to stand any chance at all of avoiding relegation. A 0-0 draw won't do for the cup finalists. So it'll be interesting to see the attitude of the two sides in this second half. That's Smiley, and then Hartford for City. Gatting with the header. Foster. Here's Ranson. And now Baker. Bond doing awfully well there. Baker pulls it back. Not far enough for Reeves, though. Here's Tuart. And he's curled one as Tuart, but Mosley was equal to it. Nice attempt. Just looking at that again reminds me that Dennis Tuart hasn't actually scored in open play since October. His only goals since then have been from penalties. And Baker's header back from Mosley's kick. Tuart, Ranson. Bond is well forward. Reeves is up. His Power. City with 6 players around the area here. 7 if you count McDonald, who's supported from left back. And Bond with the header on. And away by Howlett. As City look menacing for a moment. This is Smith for Brighton. That's a good ball. Case. Couldn't control it though. And onside, Dennis Stewart. And Mosley. Oh, Baker trying to go for the empty net. Mosley, first of all, making a fullback's clearance to stop Stewart. And then Pearce losing out. And Baker aiming for the unguarded goal. As Brighton teetered there on the brink of relegation. Michael Robinson. Shirt was pulled by Dennis Stewart, who's got to be careful, having already been cautioned. So here's Jimmy Case for Brighton. They've got half an hour left. Pearce inside. Howlett. Well, he's prepared to try his luck from any range, this 20-year-old Gary Howlett. He scored on his debut here against Liverpool. He had a spectacular effort just over in the semi-final against Sheffield Wednesday, and that in itself was a good shot here today. Header was by Gatting. There's Baker. And here's Hartford, and Power has again found some space on the left, and Hartford has again found him. There are 3 in the centre for City. One of them is Dennis Stewart jumping now. The ball comes back to Reeves. It may run on for Baker, or indeed for Power. McDonald now. Reeves with the flick. Oh, yes! Kevin Reeves scores for Manchester City. A goal which could be priceless to them, and one which could send Brighton down. The ball was well worked with Power and McDonald involved in the build-up, but Kevin Reeves, often masterful in a near-post position in his past, got his head to the ball and it dropped beyond the diving Mosley into the far corner. And at that point, Brighton make a substitution. It's desperation for them now. Howlett goes off and Jerry Ryan comes on. So a good header by Kevin Reeves, back in the side today after his hamstring injury. They were unsure whether to play him or Kinsey up until this morning, in fact. And on the bench there, John Benson and Tony Brook must feel that they've made the right decision. Brighton now, in the last quarter of an hour, have got to score 2 goals to avoid being relegated. Robinson. Looked as though there may have been a case of the linesman giving a free kick against Ranson, and then Ranson disputing it so fiercely that he's in trouble. Ranson certainly talking out of turn to that linesman because he disagreed with the verdict, and he'll get booked for dissent. But the faces on the bench surely tell the story for Brighton. Ryan coming in, and the goalkeeper makes perhaps his first error of the afternoon. He came and didn't quite make it, and Jerry Ryan made contact. But the ball to Williams' relief, away from the goal. Grealish. And a touch from Ryan, not good enough. McDonald fires one forward. Here's Robinson. And the FA Cup finalists are relegated.
Well done, Sean.
Jimmy Amelia and Brighton and Hove Albion doomed now to the 2nd division. After the club had spent 4 years in the first, but the joy on the faces there of the supporters of Manchester City. Kevin Reeves' goal has given them some sort of hope. Quite how much they'll find out when they get to the dressing room and survey the other results. They're at home to Luton next week. but certainly they were the more powerful and committed side in the second half of what was, by and large, a very edgy and nervous occasion. Brighton and Hove Albion, for all their FA Cup glory, couldn't respond when it mattered in the league, and they, for certain now, go down to the second division, having lost here today by 1-0.
Brighton go down as Manchester City give themselves a lifeline, and their fate will depend on their match at Main Road next Saturday against fellow relegation candidates Luton Town. But Brighton can't know whether to laugh or cry. Second division football, but Wembley just around the corner, and problems there too for manager Jimmy Melia.
If any, this relegation is going to have on the morale of the lads for the FA Cup final in 2 weeks' time.
Well, it doesn't seem to make any difference, because in the Cup we've been a completely different team. I think the Cup was just one-off, and we've produced the goods in the Cup, and I'm sure that this will make them more determined, because they're very disappointed in the dressing room about going down. And I said to them, OK, we've gone down, let's make sure we have taken them down, everybody in this dressing room, let's make sure that we bring them back next season. And don't forget, we can win the FA Cup, so we've got something to look forward to. I mean, the Swansea have gone down, they've got nothing to look forward to.
Just looking at Wembley, I mean, have you now given up all hope, both personally and from the club's point of view, of Steve Foster being able to play?
No, I'll never go hope about Steve Foster. We're just hoping that we can do something to lead the team out at Wembley. And I hope he does, because you've seen him today. He played centre-half, and when we struggled, he went up front and he battled. Tremendous professional, and it'll be a criminal if this fella can't play at Wembley.
So you're still trying ways and means?
Well, yes, with Steve, you've got to do, you know. I mean, it'll break my heart if he doesn't play at Wembley.
Well, what a final full week of the league season ahead, with 3 UEFA Cup places and 8 promotion and relegation issues still to be decided. In the first division, we've seen Liverpool crowned as champions, while Watford's brilliant first season in the top flight is ending with a UEFA Cup place. The 3 other places will come from 6 clubs, 5 if Manchester United win the FA Cup and go into the Cup Winners' Cup. Those in contention are Forest, Villa, Everton, Spurs and West Ham. At the bottom, with Brighton and Swansea relegated, 6 clubs are left fighting to escape the other place, and suddenly it's Luton who are in most trouble. Their fate will be decided on 2 visits to Manchester. Tomorrow night, Luton face Manchester United, and on Saturday they play Manchester City. Manager David Pleat remained optimistic when I spoke to him this morning, and despite losing David Moss, who received a rib injury in yesterday's 5-1 home defeat by Everton. Kirk Stevens was also injured in that game, but David Pleat hopes the fullback will play at Old Trafford. United's problems: Ray Wilkins has a groin strain and is doubtful. So too is Laurie Cunningham with hamstring trouble. But fullback Arthur Albiston should return after missing 2 games. Manager Ron Atkinson told me a win tomorrow ensures a place in Europe and the only unbeaten home record in the first division. We also want to finish second to Liverpool. As for the injured Steve Coppell's chances of being fit for the cup final, Ron indicated that Steve still has an awful lot to do. The one remaining promotion place in the second division is between Leicester, Fulham and rank outsiders Newcastle, with 1 game each to play. Leicester and Fulham are on 69 points, with Leicester having a much superior goal difference. For Newcastle to go up, those 2 must both lose, and Newcastle would need a substantial win at Wolves. Good news already, though, for the St James's Park fans. Kevin Keegan has said he'll still be with Newcastle next season. And in fact, tonight, Keegan will be named North East Footballer of the Year. Unfortunately, a long-standing commitment will prevent him from personally receiving the award, which ironically is to be presented by England manager Bobby Robson. Astonishingly, no club is yet relegated from Division 2, and any 3 from 9 will go down. There are 2 crucial matches on Tuesday night: Burnley versus Queen's Park Rangers and Middlesbrough against Crystal Palace. At the top of Division 3, it's all over, and congratulations to Portsmouth, Cardiff and Huddersfield, who all won promotion yesterday. There were 3 games played this afternoon in Division 3, Bradford 2, Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1, Brentford 0, and in Division 4, Swindon 1, Northampton 5, but Swindon had keeper Jimmy Allen carried off injured after just 7 minutes. Millwall's game affects the 3rd Division relegation situation. Chesterfield and Doncaster, remember, are already down. The other 2 places involve 6 clubs. In the 4th Division, Wimbledon, Port Vale and Hull are up, with the other place between Bury, Colchester and Scunthorpe. There's an important match tomorrow, and if Scunthorpe lose at Port Vale, they are out of the race. Our best wishes go to Aberdeen for Wednesday's Cup Winners' Cup final against Real Madrid in Gothenburg, and both Eric Black and Doug Bell, who've been injured, have had a run out in the reserves this afternoon to test their fitness. Aberdeen are also Scottish Cup finalists and contenders for the Premier Division title. Another is reigning champion Celtic, whose 2-0 win against Morton yesterday was watched by Arsenal number 2 Don Howe, with, it seems, Charlie Nicholas the reason for the visit. But it's Dundee United who will be champions for the first time if they win their remaining game away to neighbours Dundee next Saturday. United showed little sign of tension as they beat Motherwell at Tannadice yesterday, and incidentally they've now scored 88 goals, a new Premier Division record. Your commentator, Archie McPherson.
So, both Bannon and Mill poised to take it. It's Bannon is there. Can you execute a free kick better than that? Penalty kick given this time. Well, off we go. Done with great ease. That could be picked up by Mill. This could be disaster. There's David Dodds, he's done it. As simple as you like. And that was given away by Motherwell. Here's Bannon, here's Holt in the middle. And Milne and Dodds has scored. That's number 4.
Well, before we see the superb goals in our Goal of the Season competition, let's have the result of the April Goal of the Month. The winning order was EDG, making the Goal of the Month the one scored by Norman Whiteside, just 18 yesterday, the winning goal for Manchester United against Arsenal that took United to Wembley.
Orbiston. Oh, Grimes is onside, and so is Whiteside here. Oh, I say! It's amazing!
The first postcard pulled out of the sack was sent by young Mervyn Evans of Pwllheli. Well done, Mervyn. Your prize is on the way. Now the goals chosen by our panel for the Goal of the Season competition. The format is the familiar one. To win the £300 of the premium bonds, you have to put the best 3 goals, in your opinion, in 1, 2, 3 order and send them to the usual address. That's in a week or so you've got to compete in that competition. They'll be shown again, those goals, in Sports Night on Wednesday and in Match of the Day next Sunday. And here's a first look at them now. There are 12, starting with goal A scored by Danny Thomas for Coventry City against Ipswich Town. No build-up, but a little dribble and a venomous shot.
Thompson far side. Thomas. Burley for Ipswich. Thomas again. Still Danny Thomas. Oh, I say, what a shot and what a goal!
Goal B scored by Soren Lerby for Ajax against Celtic. A clinical move with a very neat ending.
Neat 1-2, away goes Olsen. Look at the face of him, driving forward. That was highly skilled play. Outside of the foot, fast there, Cruyff, a brilliant ball. Oh, what a goal!
Goal C scored by Gordon Davis at Newcastle for Fulham. Teamwork at the highest level and a precise finish.
Houghton was coming through, Wilson turned it on, here's Gordon Davis. Well, what a good finish.
Goal D scored by Danny Wallace for Southampton at Luton. A solo effort with an unstoppable shot.
Wallace. Oh, Danny Wallace! What a tremendous goal!
Goal E scored by Kenny Dalglish for Scotland against Belgium. Created by a magic dribble just like the old days.
Looking to knock it forward. Picks out Dalglish and a marvellous turn inside the defender. Steps around another. Oh, and into the top corner. A stunning individual goal by Kenny Dalglish.
Goal left scored by Ian Rush for Liverpool against Watford, illustrating Liverpool's power, passing ability and direct style.
Neil's clearance to Dalglish, beautiful turn. Oh, and on for Rush, got a perfect through ball. And what a brilliant goal!
Goal G scored by Steve Coppell for Manchester United against Aston Villa. A neat build-up and a shot to remember.
Whiteside, oh, what a good turn. Oh, he left him in his wake there, Stapleton. And can Coppell drive one? What a goal!
Goal 8 scored by Mark Walters at Northampton for Aston Villa. Perfect control and silky elegance make it look easy.
4 Villa players in the area. Here's Walters. Oh, it's a lovely turn. Oh, what a beautiful goal.
Goal I scored by Graham Souness at Luton for Liverpool, an invitation to score followed by a perfect strike.
Souness. And again Souness! What a goal!
Goal J scored by Ronnie Whelan for Liverpool against Manchester United. Cheeky, confident and precise.
Shot struck Macari. Kennedy. Whelan. And again Whelan scored it! Brilliant goal!
Goal K scored by Charlie Nicholas for Scotland against Switzerland. A good move, a fine pass and an extraordinary ending.
Suddenly a lot of lands have turned into lines. Away goes Nicholas. He's done it! Oh, brilliantly! Oh, what a goal!
Goal L scored by Norman Whiteside for Manchester United against Arsenal. A perfect invitation to score, accepted with relish.
Orbiston. Oh, Grimes is onside and so is Whiteside here. Oh, I say! It's amazing!
Well, pretty good, weren't they? And as I said, you'll get further opportunities to weigh up their merits and how to enter in later programmes. Still many issues to be decided yet this season, but no one can dispute who's been the outstanding manager of all time, Liverpool's Bob Paisley. Undoubtedly, he's thoroughly enjoyed his career, and yesterday he mused for a moment at the possibilities and fun someone might have by beating his record. Well done, Bob.
The one that beats it, that's the man that I would like to be in his shoes. The one that beats that. And then he's got had some exciting times. That's all I've got to say for the next one.
Well won by Callaghan. Plenty of players forward here at Liverpool. That's nice, that's McDermott, and that's a goal!
Souness. And there's Dalglish through.